Hey, what is up, everybody? I'm here to give you guys my Halloween movie review series, and I know I missed a couple of days, but that's because I'm up north in New Hampshire. My friend has a place up here, so I've been up here. So I've been a little bit behind on doing this video series. What I'm gonna do is I'm obviously catching up now, but today I'll probably just try to do one. But when I get like free time and however many I have missed, I will do that many that day, and then I can try to get myself back on schedule. This stuff happens, so I apologize for that. So this is pretty much the sixth one. This was supposed to be the one I was supposed to have done Friday, but it didn't happen. I'm continuing with the Halloween film franchise series. Now this is going to be the sixth one, and this one is called The Curse of Michael Myers, but you can tell that from the title of the video. And this was directed by Joe Chappelle, and it was produced by Paul Freeman. It was written by Daniel Furns. I don't know how to say his last name. And it was based on, obviously, the creation of John Carpenter and Deborah Hill, as everyone pretty much is. And this movie came out on it's a weird day, actually. Because normally the Halloween movies come out around Halloween time. This case, it didn't. It came out on September 29th, 1995. I don't know why that was the release date. Maybe they couldn't get... Maybe that's the date they went with. Personally, I think it should always be around Halloween time because this is a Halloween movie film. So I don't know, and it's based on Halloween. So I think it should always come out around Halloween time, and it's kind of weird that it did it in this case. So and this movie had a $5 million budget, which is a pretty good amount of money. And let me just get right into this video series. So this is kind of yet again playing off the stories that went off in 4 and 5, and this one, Michael Myers and Jamie Lloyd were abducted by a cult. There's this evil cult. There's this Men in Black cult that want to pretty much do some research on the evils of Michael Myers and what makes him so evil and stuff like that. What makes him do all this crazy stuff. So Jamie Lloyd and Michael Myers were abducted to some place, and we find out that Jamie Lloyd is pregnant with a baby. So she's giving birth. She gives birth to a baby. The Men in Black take her, and they write a peace symbol. I'm gonna see if I can look up this symbol and see if I can show you what it looks like. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see this. I think this is supposed to be the symbol. It looks like this. You can't really... Oh, hold on. Let me get rid of that. This is what the symbol looks like. It's pretty... and there's more to that symbol as I get into it. They put that symbol on the baby. They cut it into it. It was pretty gruesome, actually. So, one of the nurses there takes Jamie and has her run off to save herself and her baby. Michael Myers pops up, obviously to kill Jamie. He murders the nurse. He chokes her and stabs her with... There was like a needle hanging out of the wall, and just kills her. Jamie escapes. She steals a drunk guy's truck. And she tries to warn the guy that Michael Myers is coming to kill her. Michael Myers twists his head sideways and kills him. So Jamie drives off, and Michael Myers goes after her. He follows her to a bus station, and Jamie there was a radio show going on hosted by Barry, and he makes fun of Michael Myers. We find out that Halloween's been canceled in Haddonfield. We also found out that Dr. Loomis has retired. He's with Dr. Tian, I think his name was. Yeah, no, Dr. Wynn. and he was retired. They have the drink celebrating his retirement. Then he overhears and he tries to tell him that he wants him back at the hospital where Michael Myers was, Gatewood, I believe it was called. So then Jamie calls into the radio station to let her know, to try to warn Dr. Loomis that Michael Myers is after her. And then yeah, and the guy just thinks she's just crazy and playing a Halloween trick. Then she overhears Michael Myers. She hides inside of the bathroom stall. Michael Myers is going through every stall, and right when he's about to find her, she climbs out the window. And then she continues. She drives into an old abandoned barn. She goes in there. Michael Myers finds her. He murders her by driving her right into a forklift, and obviously because it's a forklift and it pretty much just has a pitchfork, she was dead. And Michael Myers wants to have her baby. She tells her that he can't, and he turns on the forklift and completely murders her. So obviously now it was kind of disappointing to see Jamie die, especially the first scene in the movie, considering the fact that she was kind of the main story around this movie. More on that later. And then Michael Myers goes into the truck that she was driving to find this baby. Well, Jamie's baby, and we see that it wasn't there. It was a trap. So Michael Myers gets pissed. Then back at Michael Myers' old house, we see that a family has moved in there, and we found out that this family is actually related to Laurie Strode somehow. I think they're like cousins or something. We meet some of the main characters: Carrie Strode, Danny Strode, Tim Strode, and Deborah Strode. Tim is the father, Deborah's the wife, and Kara and and Danny is Kara's son, and John, I believe John actually was the father. I don't remember exactly. But pretty much the father is just a huge asshole. He constantly puts everybody down. He puts down Kara because she pretty much set the family into hell, and the family just doesn't get along, especially John and Kara. Kara goes off on her. John hits her, and we see Danny kind of has some Michael Myers implements in him. He hears voices. He has a deep voice that constantly tells him to do stuff. He was gonna kill John, but Kara refuses, and they go off and do their schoolwork. We found out Kara is a college student, and is in college, and we find out that Danny's been having nightmares. He has a picture drawn of someone that's murdered the whole a family. So then we find out that there's a creep that watches over Carol across the street, and we found out that this guy was actually Tommy Doyle. This was the little kid in the first movie that Laurie Strode babysat when this happened the first time, and he pretty much has done research. He's become obsessed with Michael Myers. He wants to murder Michael Myers, and I actually kind of like that they brought him back. I thought that was actually pretty cool. He's actually the one that overheard Jamie call into the radio show. He has it taped and everything, and then he goes there and finds out that Laurie Strode hid her baby in the bathroom at the bus stop, and she goes to tell Dr. Loomis about it. Dr. Loomis finds out that Michael Myers has been there because they have the symbol on the barn that he was at, and then he also finds out that Laurie Strode was murdered, and Tommy Doyle reminds him who he is, says that he has the baby, he doesn't want anybody to know about it, so they agree to meet later on. Then Dr. Loomis goes to try to warn Deborah, who about everything that's happened about Laurie Strode, and obviously Michael Myers is obviously going to come after these people because they live in his old house, and pretty much Michael Myers likes to kill his family members. So Dr. Loomis tries to warn them to get out. She calls her husband. He doesn't believe her, and is being a huge asshole about it. So then she goes to leave. She hears something. Obviously Michael Myers is there, and she gets suspicious about it. So she takes off, and she had laundry hung up on the clothesline outside, and she trips and loses her glasses, and of course when she puts them on, Michael Myers pops up with an axe and chops her head off and kills her, and the blood goes all over one of the sheets. So I thought that looked like a pretty good scene. And then of course Kara comes home after this happens, and then she finds that Tommy and Danny have met, and Tommy wants her to get out of the house and tells her everything that happened. We find out that this symbol that I showed you actually is I'm just reading it off right here, is a runic symbol of thorn, and it means pure evil. It uses people to sacrifice people, and it goes off every Halloween. And I thought that was actually a pretty well story, and obviously Michael Myers is a part of this somehow. So then Tommy leaves, and then the father comes home, John, and he just thinks that everybody just left. So the lights go out. He turns on the flashlight. He goes downstairs, and he sees that the light's out, but the washing machine's still working. And when he opens it, he sees that there's the sheet that that was covered in blood, where Michael Myers killed Deborah. So then when he turns around, Michael Myers is behind him. He chokes him, and he pretty much electrocutes him, and he explodes. That looked like a pretty decent scene. Then we also meet this crazy old woman that Tommy Doyle lives with. Her name was am I on the right movie? Yeah, I am. I'm trying to find her name. Mrs. Blankenship, and she tells a story about Halloween to Danny, about Halloween. Everybody uses that to kind of try to put the spirits to rest. That's when the spirits come out, the scary spirits. And then Barry has his TV show, or his radio show, I should say. And Beth is talking about how they shouldn't cancel Halloween. People shouldn't be afraid of it. People should just embrace what they have. And she reveals that Tim actually lives in the Michael Myers' old house. So Barry's going to go host the show there. Barry's pretty much talking crap about Michael Myers, calling him a pussy and everything. And then Michael Myers, of course, is in his car where he was at. So he pops up behind him and stabs him. You totally saw that coming my way. Then later on, a little kid sees it. Apparently, Michael Myers hung up his dead body up in a tree with a bunch of Halloween lights, which was kind of weird. And Dr. Loomis and Tommy find it. And then what else happens? Then Beth and Tim go back to the house, and Tim had no idea that Michael Myers used to live in that house, so this freaks him out a bit. Beth tells the story about Michael Myers murdering his sister and everything, and then they go to have sex. Tim goes to take a shower. He asks for a towel. Michael Myers actually is the one that hands him the towel, and he doesn't know about this. So then when he's drying off and he wipes down the mirror because it has all mist on it from the shower, Michael Myers pops up behind him and slices his throat, and murders him. Then Kara tries to call Beth to warn her about this, but Michael Myers kills her before this happens. And then Danny, because he hears these voices, goes to the house, and Kara has to go get him. Kara goes in the house, finds Tim and Beth's corpses, and then Michael Myers pops up behind her. She takes Tim and escapes. She had one of those sticks that people use to doing fireplaces. And then she sees her mom's dead body come right out of the ceiling. Michael Myers chases after her. She trips him with this stick, and Michael Myers is knocked out. and we think that he's dead. Then Michael Myers grabs her. She escapes. They take off to Tommy's house, and Michael Myers doesn't catch him in time. Then Dr. Loomis. Then we see all the men in black from earlier in the movie. We see that Dr. Wynn was actually a part of this, and he has Danny right on his lap. So then Kara tries to escape. She goes to Mrs. Blankenship, who we also find out is a part of this. So she jumps out the window. She gets knocked out, and then a few hours later, Tommy and Dr. Loomis wake up and they found out that they've been drugged. And Dr. Loomis has a great line where he says, "This is Dr. Wynn's game," because Tommy wants to know why they didn't just kill him. It's Dr. Wynn's game, and I know where he wants to play it. And pretty much they do this for the reasons I said. They want to find out the source of the evil in the new baby and continue it. So Dr. Loomis calls him, says, "I thought Michael Myers was a monster, but you," and before he can finish, he gets knocked out. And then Kara wakes up and find out that she's locked in a room, and Tommy overhears her screaming. Well, we think it's her screaming, so he goes after to find her, and we find out it was just an old woman that was crazy that Michael Myers had stabbed. That was actually a pretty good scene. She talks about how he walks among us all the time, and then he actually hears Kara, and he tries to use a fire extinguisher to break down the door. And then Michael Myers pops up. This kind of sends Tommy a little bit crazy because this is giving him flashbacks. And then they're finally able to get out. Michael Myers grabs Kara through like a gate that they closed up. And Kara's acting there was ridiculously over the top. And then they escape. All the doctors and stuff are going in there to do the operation so they can find out the source of the evil of the baby. Michael Myers just goes in there and kills every single one of them except for Wynn, because he is able to escape, which kind of made that whole scene pointless. Alright, I have no idea what happened. I just randomly lost the connection, so I'm going to continue where I left off. As I was saying, yeah, so Dr. Wynn, so they all run away. Dr. Wynn is all bloody and stuff, and and they just leave him to get killed by Michael, who smashes his face right into the gate. He just breaks it right open, and then he goes into another lab room, and Tommy tries to give him the baby. He acts like he's going to give it to him, but it was actually a trap. But of course, Danny actually had the baby, and the baby actually cries. So Michael Myers realizes that it was a trap. So then Tommy drugs him, but Michael Myers chokes him and just tosses him halfway across the room. And then Kara repeatedly hits him over the head with a lead pipe, just beats the crap out of him with it. And then Michael Myers tries to choke her and just absolutely murder her, but Danny tells her to stop. Michael Myers tries to reach in and grab the baby, but then Tommy again just sticks a needle into her, and Dr. Loomis helps him escape. And then they leave, and Dr. Loomis doesn't want to go with them because he's needed there. And then Michael Myers, we see, is gone, but we see that his mask has been left behind, and we see Dr. Loomis has been. We hear him scream, but we don't exactly know what happens to him. And then at the end of the movie, it says, "In memory of Donald Pleasance," because this has ended up being his final role, because he died shortly after this. He died. This movie came out in 1995. He died in he died he died in February 2nd, 1995. So he died as this was being made. And it's kind of sad that this was his final role. He really wasn't in this movie all that much. I think that might have been because he was on his deathbed. But yeah, it's definitely gonna be weird to watch the movie without him in it, because he was the best character they've had, and the best guy to play this role. And yeah, it was kind of a shame. So now that I've done that, overall this movie was pretty average. It really wasn't anything special. Wasn't really like terrible or anything, but it really just wasn't that good. If I had to rate it, it would definitely be a 5 out of 10. Just an average movie. Really no reason to go see it. Um,
And yeah, the Michael Myers was the best part of this whole movie. His murders were great. Um, but yeah, pretty flat characters. Carol wasn't really that good of a character, and her acting was over the top. Tommy Doyle, actually no, the stuff with Tommy Doyle was pretty good too. His scenes were very good. The and I can't really say Dr. Loomis' scenes were good because he really wasn't in this movie enough. It's not his fault, but you know. So let me go over now but this movie overall made $15.1 million in box office, so that's all right. Um, and as for the cast, I've already kind of went through who played Dr. Loomis, same person every time. Paul Rudd played Tommy Doyle. Um, Marion Hagen played Carrie Strode. Devin Gowder played Danny Strode. Um, George P. Wilbur was once again playing Michael Myers again. I forget exactly. Um, then it says A. Michael Leno, but played Michael Myers when he reshoots it. Michael Ryan played Dr. Terrence Wynn. J.C. Brady played Jamie Lloyd. Um, but Daniel Harris plays young Jamie Lloyd. Daniel Harris originally was supposed to be playing Jamie Lloyd, but they had disputes about how much she was going to get paid, and she wasn't very happy that she was just going to be killed off right away in the first scene after everything that Jamie Lloyd did, which I don't blame her. Um, then Mariah O'Brien plays Beth. Um, Kath Bogert plays Tim Strode. Kim Derry plays Deborah Strode. Bradford English plays John Strode. Leo Geter plays Barry Sims. Susan Swift plays Nurse Mary. I believe this is the nurse that tried to save Jamie in the beginning of the movie. Alan um, Echeverria plays Dr. Bonham. And Janice Nick Wim plays Mrs. Blankenship. And yeah, this movie does not is not very popular with the critics. The critics did not really care for it, which I don't really blame them. But yeah, overall, this movie gets a 5 out of 10, a pretty average movie. Um, and that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please make sure you guys like, comment, and share this video so that way people will watch it. And make sure you guys also subscribe to this channel for more content and click on the bell so that way every time you upload a video, you guys will get the notification for it. And please make sure you guys do the same thing for my CM Brothers channel. And that's pretty much it, guys. Talk to you later.